We're back. And this time, hopefully, it works. The problem we're going to run into is I won't be able to see. Also, it's a fucking. I hate hearing the audio through it. So let me go to monitor off. There we go. There we go. Gamer. Ah, finally. Finally. Let me try to get this a bit bigger on that side. A little bit down right there. Let's let's get this open up. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? I'm gonna blow my brains out, bro. Just go to my channel. Go to my channel. There we go. There, how you doing, mine, bro? Sorry, my audio went out. I don't know why. Because it was working at the beginning of the stream, and then it just cut off. Is it still good now? Are we like a-okay? Everything goaded? Excuse me. Good lord. I'm gonna make a new Scarlet account. Because it was working at the beginning of my stream. But how are you? I'm getting back into playing Pokemon. I was gonna download Arceus, and I didn't for some reason, and went with Scarlet. Because I'm like, oh, I haven't played Scarlet barely, and I'm regretting it. So I don't know. It's fucked up. It's annoying because I can't yeah, I turned off the game sound, I think. Did I? There we go. Yeah, I was getting kind of annoyed with that music. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I'm getting back to playing Pokemon so I can be ready for Legends EA. I need a TV. I need a TV because I gave one of my friends a couple monitors that I used to have. Like, I used to have monitors on the wall and whatnot. And then I stopped talking to him, and I don't have those monitors anymore. So I need a new monitor, and I can't get him back because I'm just kind of like over him. So I'm like, you know what, fuck this guy. So I'm kind of screwed because I need a TV because I can't play. Because how it works now on YouTube is that you can do through Streamlabs vertical output and horizontal at the same time and have two live streams going. One to get in the algorithm, and then one to get to like a normal higher quality live stream. And but it makes it so you can only see one fucking screen. Or you can only see two screens. You can't see one screen. And I play from Streamlabs because it's hooked up directly to my computer through my capture card. So it's all messed up. It's all messed up. Right now I'm playing without sound. I don't like playing Pokemon with sound. It's kind of horrible. Because it gets annoying after a while. But what is it? So it's very hard to see. Okay, there we go. We successfully downloaded it, and I would have to get another console or another TV to play it. If that makes sense. I have to get another TV to be able to play. And see the game fully. So I'm having a brain fart. I'm all over the place right now. I'm tired. English. So essentially, I'll be that dude. I'm gonna have to turn on this volume. I fucking hate this. Crispy. Oh yeah. Dude, this is loud as hell. It's kind of annoying me. Yeah, I'm fine with this hairstyle. I didn't Shiny Giratina. It's been a long time. How you been? How you been? We good to go? That was fucking weird. Okay. Man, I want to, I definitely want to, I think if the game is really good and I can get, like, donations during the time playing it, I might get 2 copies. Because Crystal's going to donate so I can get one of them. They're going to buy it for me. And then if I get enough through donations through the weeks of playing it, I'll buy another copy. That's if they have if they have, like, soft resets. This is so loud. I have to fix this volume. Let's have still staying. Sorry to hear that. Glad you're still staying, though. Okay, see you later, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi. I'm glad you're doing good for the most part. Yeah, if online I can help you with some shiny hunting crimbo. I actually don't. So here's the thing. I canceled my online because I didn't think I was going to get Pokemon. And it goes out on, like, at the 20th. But I have, I think, a 3-month subscription. And the reason why I canceled my online is the fact that I would have to get the Switch 2 to be able to play Fire and Bloom. And I was like Path of Radiance and Coliseum, I think, and that made me so angry that when I'm not buying online again. But I have a 3-month gift card I haven't used. I got like 2 years ago, and you can't use a gift card until your current thing's up and done with. Dude, this is so dumb. I hate how slow openings are for games. I don't care. I can't turn on the volume either, so it's really loud in my ear right now. Pissing me off. I wish if I had, I'll play this. If I had someone that would fund $60 a month, I would be able to get a Switch 2 because I could do a payment plan. Whoa, that's cool. Or if I had someone send me $200, I think $250 or $300, I could get a Switch 2 because I'll be able to pay off my credit. But I don't have that following anymore, so I could do something like that and work on it. So right now I'm just going to stick with the Switch one and its crappy fucking optimization of these games. Yeah, so nice to just snag it. Yeah, I got to make a donation goal. I'm not doing it today because this is just a test run and no one's going to donate, which is fine. But the big thing is that I hope the shiny hunting's good in the game, because if I can get a shiny comp out of like 20 Pokemon in the partnership back with YouTube and get paid again and get memberships, because I need to have a video like a watch time of like I think 1,000 hours and a comp video that's, you know, like 20-30 minutes to an hour long can get me there if it's good enough. Weird is like that Mr. Beast did the whole thing where you could use AI. Wouldn't you as an artist want to work on something else that's for your soul rather than that? I don't know. Like, to me as a person that's not an artist and doesn't have money, having that would just be easier for my life. But I get it though, as content creators that make thumbnails for, you know, they can make it for people to make money. It just frustrates me. He's like, me, I don't got money to pay people to make thumbnails. How you doing, Brian? How you been, buddy? I'm gonna tell you right now, Brian, this is gonna be crazy. Breaking news. I have a hemorrhoid right now and it hurts. I'm not even joking, it's horrible. One second. I'm trying to turn off the audio because I hate the audio in this Pokemon game. There's no shiny sparkles, right? Sound effects when you walk past them. Mr. Beast did pay well. I'm still like it, kind of sad. Did I read that right? Mr. Beast did pay well. I'm not sure what it means by that. If you're talking about like he pays ours or something, I don't know. But the reason why I like the AI generated thumbnails is someone like me that's retarded. I can't do it, dude. I can't like make thumbnails, and that would have saved my life. Yeah, no, he does. I'm pretty sure he does that now. You're a hemorrhoid bros. Let's go. Hammer Bros, let's go. Because my big problem right now I'm gonna run to is I don't have, after like having the whole cancer and everything and not having a job, I don't have money to pay people to make a thumbnail for me, and my shit's all fucked up right now. So so when the new game comes out and I get Shiny Comp, I have to figure out how to do that. Yeah, no, I have that. Because also I was eating really healthy and I was doing really good, and I got mega depressed. And I started eating like shit again, and I'm gonna fix it. I was supposed to fix it 2 days ago, but then I got too busy, and I was trying to get the stream, and I got really angsty, and I didn't have time to do anything. But soon I'll be back on my complete grind after tomorrow, because they have buy two, get two free chicken, and I'm about to load up like probably 30 of those in my freezer and have one every single day, like big pack of chicken breasts. You got peeps willing to make you things right. Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, I don't like asking people because I can't give back to people like they could give back to me. So I don't like asking people for stuff. Me who's made thumbnails. Yeah, that's me who makes thumbnails. Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you mean, man. And you're like, with your very talented skills, no, shut up, man. Someone got to pay me to make these thumbnails. Fuck the AI. Fuck the AI. I forgot what I was doing. Yeah, I was playing Pokemon. It's fun. Yeah, I just can't do it. Oh shit, I have to go vegetable garden. What's going on? I'm not even paying attention. I'm reading chat. Brian has made me, I think, the best thumbnails I've ever had. He was always the go at making thumbnails. He has like the most powerful skills at that. Oh, there we go. I just always feel bad. I'm not talented. You take that back. You take that back, motherfucker. Okay, also, thanks for saying the background's nice. I want to get it better, but it's hard because the camera can only, like, right now I'm using my older camera that doesn't have as good clarity, so you can't see as, it's kind of blurry. And I don't really have the lights up right, but I've been working on that. I have to add a lot more. I have a lot I want to do in this room. This is my streaming room now, but it's really hard. Is my freshness is doing its best to creep it? Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, mine was pretty bad the last month, and last couple days have been a lot better though. So, and it's because I had something happen, that made me kind of like get upset over the last I've been working really hard at the gym for like 5.5 months straight, and like I got told something that like just ruined all my happiness of all that hard work, and I was like, what was the point of all of it? And then it went down a bigger spiral because then I was like, oh, I don't have a job now, like what is my life? And all that hard work I just put into the gym, and now that then I realized that doesn't matter. Being healthy matters, and I'll get to where I'm at. And also, I just like survived cancer this year, so a job's like the least amount of my worries, So it was one of those things where yeah, I had like just all over the place emotions were, and luckily, okay, can I leave now? Oh no, that's just the back. That's just the vegetable garden going to. Okay, I messed up. We're supposed to go out here, I think. Or we're supposed to talk to them? I don't know. I wasn't reading. I can't even read it. But yeah. So I just had some problems with some people in my life, and what have you, and a few other things, and just a lot of stuff happened. I lost like a lot of friends recently. Gained some, obviously. Found old ones again, such as you guys. And it's just a lot happened in a short time. So now I'm finally at the part where I'm feeling a bit better, and gonna start going back to the gym probably Monday, or maybe Monday or something, and I'll get back into that because I probably gained like fucking 15 pounds, no lie, in the last three weeks. Maybe not. I don't know how much I gained, but I gained a lot, and I was just starting to do good, and then, like my whole world came crashing down. So now that I'm like feeling a lot better, it's like that. Yeah, and the thing is that like one of the friends, like they owed me a lot of money, and I gave them so much, and I never took from them really ever. and now that money is coming to call back because it was on a credit card, and I thought they would, pay me back and stop being like a depressed bitch and just fucking do what they gotta do to get money. And instead, no, I got fucked over, and now I'm in a hard spot because of that. So, is what it is. Is what it is. And next month I'll get a job though. Yeah, my job's Aura Farming. Yeah, if only that was that simple for me. We're not all like Brian with his massive Transformer collection. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now. I appreciate. I hope you've been doing good too. I'm all over the place right now because I'm like it's late. I'm tired and I'm just getting used to getting back into streaming. And having two different chats is weird because how YouTube you can do portrait and horizontal. So I'm missing chats and I'm being dumb. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I have my moments at times where I'm like, what's the point? But the last 2 days have been a lot better, and yeah, I have I'll talk about some stuff in the future that I don't really want. I love how I have the Pokemon cries up all the way, except the music. So Ramley's hair Pokemon fucking blare in my ear. I'm not sure if you can hear it because I'm not sure if it's going through the game, but it's going through my mic, and I'm like, this is horrible. I need to get a TV and a headset so fucking bad. Oh no, it just made me fucking pay off something I didn't want to pay off. Son of a bitch, $60 gone. Shit. Yeah, I'm about the same. I don't even really. I have very few in the sense like that. Like the last like 6 months, I've only really talked to like 2 people. 3 people. That's my mom, my brother, and someone I've been. I don't know how to put this. I'm kind of in a relationship with someone, and that's really the only people I've been talking to. Also, like my nephew and whatnot. And then, of course, I have a job of selling stuff online, so I talk to those people and keep up with them. But I mostly isolated myself to just that. And so yeah, we don't hear shiz. Okay, so yeah, you're not hearing the random ass fucking screaming in my ear. I'll fix it when the new game comes out. They'll have the audio when the new game comes out. But so with that being said, I kind of neglected everyone on like my Pokemon channels, my YouTube channels, all that type of stuff, TikTok and whatnot, and I've only focused on myself. And I hung out with one friend that I've known for 20 some years. So I'm not like I don't like I'm banning everyone, but I don't really. He doesn't make time for me, nor really has the time for me. So I like he's still like my friend, but there's times where I'm like, are we really friends? Because like he prioritizes everyone else except for me, even though I'm like the most loyal friend he has. And it sucks because sometimes it's one of those things where it's like I feel like he keeps me around just when it's convenient for him. But then there's moments where I do know that he does have genuine care for me. He just is kind of not realizing how he can be selfish with not doing stuff with me. And that sucks, but it's whatever. So with all that being said, I'm always been a person that had like very few friends, but had tons of people that have always like wanted to be my friends and liked me type of thing. And I would say the people that I talked to, even if it's only like a couple times, like Brian, I'd say he's my friend, even though I haven't talked to him like a year or two, not because I don't want to, I'm just not. I'm on Twitter, posting Transformer stuff, and I'm like, hey, that's fucking Brian posting his damn Transformers. Why can't he like Dragon Ball Z? No, I don't think that because Dragon Ball Z is like it's good, but it's not like a type that you should get like obsessed with. Because Transformers has like a billion content. Dragon Ball Z has like 30 content, and it's like, why are we obsessed over an anime and a manga that only has such little content? Where Transformers is like a like universal, multiple different contents, timelines. But no, it's just funny. Okay, I think I gotta go talk to this bitch over here. Let's see. Belly sick is coming. I think it's month. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things where like I don't try to like. I don't want people to think that I'm just coming back and just want people to like start talking to me because I'm making content. I want viewers. I neglected everyone. I've something where I grew big on, like really big, and then I the cancer news, and then before that, I was having a lot of health problems because of the cancer, which I didn't know about at the time, months, and whatnot, making money. But then all that happened, so that kind of hit me a little hard, and yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, even like if I neglected like pretty much everyone, so I don't want people like to think that I'm just talking to them again because I'm starting a stream. I want like people to watch me and all that type of shit. I just haven't done anything with anyone, and I've only talked to like one or two people because I just need to focus on myself and the few people I had in my life, because it's too hard to try to focus on tons of people and keep up with them when you can barely keep up with your own life in the sense of like your happiness and whatnot. And there it is again, blowing my eardrum out with the fucking dinosaur noise. Excuse me. Like going to shower, going to went out with friends to watch anime today. Gonna watch it. Oh, nice! Dude, I love Attack on Titan. I think that's like everyone like like either you hate it or you love it, or you just like watched season 1 or 2, and then once 3 came out, you're like, it's not that good. And then once 4 comes out, you're like, that's stupid. And it's like, dude, shut up. There's like 3 types of people. I personally love Attack on Titan. It's one that is like it's not like super complex, super deep, but it has like such good moments and such cool moments and such tragic moments. The biggest problem Attack on Titan has is that it took forever to release seasons, and that was horrible. It took like 10 years to release seasons, and it was a fucking mess. It's like, yeah, let's take a 4-year dog shit. It is crazy when like the thing is that like when I'm making a series with action figures, I want to make it kind of like a manga because I can't do stop motion. I don't have the patience. My back just doesn't work well with those type of movements. So, am I really gonna do my dude again? I kind of want to just do this dude again. I love him. I guess I'll do Meowscarada. Sprigito, whatever his name is. I never played with this one, so I guess I'll do it. I saw a fucked up video this other day on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say. I saw a fucked up video of this on Twitter. Anyways, what was I fucking talking about? I forgot. Dude, I'm tired. It says comic is the only way I could really do something like that, and I suck at taking pictures to begin with, so that's something I'm gonna have to learn, which is gonna be brutal. But yeah, and I feel like with a lot of series, the problem they have is like rewatching a series. It's like kind of fun watching the person go from like being weak to strong. Like it's cool. Like watching Naruto, the first time it's cool seeing him go from like a little twerp to being the most strongest character. But going back and watching it, sometimes it's kind of boring. It's like that's kind of like why Boruto suffered so badly, because it just was like, oh, we're watching Naruto again, the beginning of the series, but we just got done with Naruto Shippuden, which had the most insane battles the last like 500 episodes of it. Now we have to watch freaking Naruto the first season again for like most of the episodes. That sucks. So with me, I want to make a series where like you don't have that feeling where when you're watching a character come of age through time, and I feel like that's very challenging. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do. So I think the good blend is having like your character and then the overall world have multiple powerful characters, and you'll see them interact with the world while that character is growing strong, like battle. But that was also kind of consequential compared to like 50 episodes later, 100 episodes later, when that was also Child's Play, and he was so weak, even though there was only like a barely any gap between that. So when making a story to where it makes sense and had to where it's like if you do have to watch again, it's not kind of boring. And eventually, and what I mean by that is I have to move this. I'm gonna have it to where he starts off as a thief and a magician. He's like a royalty. He's like a prince, the youngest prince of the kingdom. With that happening, he is the youngest, and all his brothers except for the strongest sent to hell, essentially. Now, the demon realm and hell are two different places. They're not the same. Hell is hell. That is the end all, be all. We'll say there's 14 brothers. including the main character. So we'll say that 13 of them with the dad leave to go to the demon realm, which is supposed to be like a 10-year process. And you were born right as he left. So essentially, you never met your dad or your other brothers. You only met your strongest brother during that time. And it's going to be essentially, he kind of trains you, but since you didn't have a father figure, you're kind of like, not a scumbag, but you're just kind of like wild, and you don't have that much authority, even though your brother tries his best to be, the helping hand. And your mother's too sweet to ever try to, put you in your place and yell at you and scold you. They just kind of get upset and say, oh, well, it is what it is. Boys will be boys. So you become like a rapscallion. You become like, a thief, even though you're a prince that lives in like the most rich kingdom. And it's like one of those kind of like scumbag ones where he steals from the poor and gives to the rich. But then he comes back as the prince and be like, hey, you can't take that poor person's money. So it's like he's like does like a double front, and it's not because he's trying to be a good person. It's because he thinks it's funny, the fact that he stole from the poor to give to the rich, then came back under a different identity and saved the day. But it's not because he wants the attention of that. I just think that he thinks it's silly. So I'm gonna do something like that where it's just ridiculous, and but with that happening, since the father's gone, he's now about 9 years old, 8 years old, something like that. We're gonna have him, and he you don't know that they went to the hell instead of the demon realm until like the day of they're supposed to come back, and no one comes back from the demon realm portal, and they're like, what the hell, and then a week passes, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, a demon realm portal opens and starts leaking out, obviously demons, other such things, other like monsters of the realm, and they descend onto the castle and destroy the castle. And your main character, the main character there, he sees everyone that he's loved, his mom, his brother, and all that, get destroyed, and he's only left alone. But with that happening, the demon that ran the charge of the attack on the castle, he puts a curse on you to where you can never die, essentially, and you're kind of immortal. And there's a bigger ulterior motive behind that. It's way more complex than you just can't die, because that's kind of a stupid thing. There's drawbacks. You won't know about that. Viewers won't until much later into the series. And but so just like you get like your head chopped off, it'll slowly regenerate, just grow back. And the whole idea is that even through all his setbacks, so there's gonna be way tougher opponents that he won't be able to like get over, and won't be able to beat, and he'll just get destroyed. And so with that being said, an accident, and because he goes into this, when he's like running away, because he kind of gets caught stealing one day. When he's running away, he falls into this cave, and within this cave is like the Necronomicon type of situation. And blood passes out, wakes up, goes, what the hell? And he goes home that day, and he does something, like he hits the ground, and he thinks he's getting attacked from a skeleton. Like, there must be zombies or skeletons in this area. And right when that happens, the brother's going to come in and destroy the dog, skeleton dog. And that's when he's going to inform him, hey, look, there's the kingdom's under attack. We got to get back. And that's what rolls the story forward, essentially. But yeah, so that's my idea of the story I'm making. How you doing, Dark Eevee Magician fans? That Nora, how you been? So yeah, I have like that planned out. I want to have like multiple stories going on. One that is like, he only comes up like every like 10 chapters, and it's like he seems like a sick, messed up character, like torturing people and whatnot. But really, there's the series I want to make. And yeah, doing good. Okay, glad to hear. Like I think I want to start it off the series with you see a city covered in like a miasmic plague type look to it, so like purple clouds, like broken down, and then it goes to a house, and it slowly goes through the corridors, and you see like bodies hung up, stripped of flesh, tortured and whatnot, just like a nasty scenery, and you hear like moans and cries of like tortured souls, and Then it shows a guy just standing at a table chopping up someone, and it looks like he's doing tests and whatnot. And you're like, what the hell's going on with this? And then it flashes to the beginning of the story. The main character, he's sitting down with his dog, like on a high up in a tree, as they're looking down on a bear, and they're trying to hunt a bear. He's one of his goals. His whole life was to hunt a bear. He's like, if you slay a bear in the kingdom, you're known as like the best. Like people's respect, essentially, which is what he's always wanted, even though he's kind of been like a scoundrel his whole life, you know. So with that being said, they're in the middle of trying to kill the bear, you know, like they're about to hunt it and raise them, and or I'm going to have them hit the bear, and then that giant bear comes and tries to finish him off. Now the thing is, since he's a sorcerer, I'm going to have him try happening. The dog gets felted and passes away, thus being buried into the graveyard, bringing forward to what I said earlier, where like there was a dog that you know, couldn't really do much about that. That rised up from the grave that he was at. And I don't know what I gotta do. I don't know where I gotta go. I haven't played this forever. I haven't played this game forever. Okay, go right here. There we go. I think she's gonna teach me how to catch Pokemon or something. I don't know. Beberon's back, little spider Pokemon. We're at the point where like everyone's played Pokemon. So annoying. Okay. Oh, it's my brother, my kid. Okay. Oh, it's my brother, my kid. I hear someone talking. I believe it's my brother upstairs talking. I'll throw a Pokemon. Oh shit, no, I'll throw a Pokeball, I guess. I could have pushed a different button, it would have been. Is it the Y button? Yeah. Is it the Y button? Yeah. Gen 6. Yeah. He probably will. I haven't been following almost anything up until the last couple days. I started looking into some stuff. But I didn't really follow anything about the game. I'm not too excited for it. I think it's cool. The idea of it is, I think it'll be fun. But I think it's going to be like every other Pokemon game where it fumbles, shiny hunting. And the big thing is that if there's not like a sewer system in this game, I'm going to be so angry. Like, how are you going to have a city as the only place you can explore and not have a sewer system? Like, that's crazy to me. Yeah, I never chose Meowscarada. Now, the problem I'm going to run into is that I can't really see that well. Whoops. I can't really see that well, the Pokemon, because the screen's tiny. It's like the size of like a Switch, and you can see how kind of far I am. Oops. Okay, there we go. I gotta see if I can fix this. Did you hear anything I was talking about earlier before you said you were lurking, Andrea? Oh shit, I'm about to get killed, bro. I'm gonna catch this Pokemon though. My dad and mine did a lot of stuff. They're bringing back, you know, the fancy Pokeballs, like the Moonball type shit, like apricot type balls, I believe. So that's kind of cool. The thing I hate is how they make like fucking Pokeballs seem so rare. You gotta do the lottery, the Kramer lottery or something. Let's see. I'll do a shiny only run while I beat it. I had shiny Lechonk, and a story I'm making. I wasn't sure if you were here to hear it at all, because I didn't know that you left until I started talking about it, so I just kept yapping, and I'm like, oh, they didn't even hear about it. It's a story I'm making for with my action figures and make it like a manga. I told you about it before, but I didn't really go into detail. With it. My cat got fucked up. I better go. Does your mom heal you, I think? I think that mom will heal you. I think they confirmed that there will be shiny Pokemon noises. Ooh, my fucking foot hurts. Ooh, my toe. I gotta crack my foot. I cut my foot really bad the other day. It sucked, dude. It's kind of hurts still. Oh, this is not my home, right? No, that's not my home, right? My home's at the top over there. Dude, I was just playing Fire Emblem. You push B to fucking run, is so annoying. It keeps sliding. I just got back. Should I tell you the story? Because I don't know if it's gonna be boring for people to hear again. I'll tell you because there's no one here anyways. So I plan on making a story that's kind of like a manga slash comic series using action figures and background scenery with like crafting and making like dioramas, using them as the backgrounds. And so that being said, I want to power through. It's gonna be like a fantasy medieval adventure type of story. So he's to like make it clear. He's a prince to a king, and he has 14 other brothers. And the type of family they have is they kind of like they're like one like the holy families of like the whole like world that they live in. The ones that go all the way back to like tree that has like a lasting name like they do, and that one that's connected to the world's religion or one of the world's religion. So, with that being said, he's a prince. He has 14 brothers. He has a mom. They all have the same mom. All have the same dad. And that family, they had to go on demon subjugations every 100 years. And it just so happens they're the kid you're gonna be following. And since that happens, you never meet your dad because he's out in the subjugation. He doesn't. So he's supposed to come back, and you're getting ready to eventually see him again. And that's like the idea of the story. I didn't really want to spoil it, but I think I'm just going to. I already have, but I think like it's better just to kind of like explain it rather than have like it kind of hooks people in. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, and essentially what happened is he instead of going to subjugate the demon realm, they get sent to hell. No one's ever been sent to hell that's alive a couple thousand years, so they get sent to hell. And troops and your brother, who is very powerful. He's one of like the higher upper level people of the world. He is very powerful. That's why they left him there. He could have been more helpful, you would say, but also what happens if something happens when they're gone for the 10 years they're supposed to be at the base of the first couple chapters. Now, how it starts is I'm going to have it to where there's kind of like a miasma of purple smoke, and as you go, like you're in the clouds, and as you go closer, you see a city form, and that city's overrun with like some type of plague. It looks like it's just falling apart in shambles. And this was like supposedly one of like the well-known cities of the world. And it was probably on the outskirts. Oh shoot, there's a whole bunch of dudes right here. Probably on the outskirts of the kingdom, So with that happening, oh shit, I'm about to get killed, bro. I didn't realize I had I'm versing Fletchling. He has fire type. So with that happening, is you get closer and you see like the streets are run with like rats and whatnot. There's plague everywhere. It's a disgusting like hellhole essentially. Like who the hell's living at this place? Well, what's happening is it then goes into a house hanging from like the ceiling, hanging from the walls, tortured, skin ripped off, just disgusting sight. And as you get closer and deeper into the house, you start hearing the moans and groans of people. And then it just shows a guy in the middle of the house in a room on a table, like peeling straight into the main character, which is a boy who's like 8 or 9 years old, sitting on a branch up on a tree talking to someone. And you look over, he's talking to a dog. And they're just, having their conversation. The dog, doesn't speak, so he's just kind of sitting there but he kind of understands what's going on. And he goes, today's finally the day. We're going to, nab us a bear. Because in this country that they live in, if you kill a bear by hunting it, you're known as being strong because bears are powerful. They're massive. This is like a grizzly bear. So his whole dream was to get the notoriety and the fame and the more so actually the attention and respect that he has always wanted. Because since he didn't have a father, because he's in the hell, he only had a brother who's extremely busy, and he had a mom, but the mom coddles him and loves him and treats him well, but he doesn't ever feel like he's been challenged or has actual legitimate earned respect. So he wants to take down a bear. And keep in mind he's only 8 or 9. and he's a magician thief class. And so he's not really equipped to hunt a bear, especially being that young. But he made his life goal, and he's a hunter. Like, that's like one of his subclasses. He's a hunter. He can hunt, but he's not that. He's not that guy. I'm not that guy. But he did learn a spell to transform his dog into an owl bear, kind of like from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, because I have that figure. I'm going to use that as one of the props. He thinks as like a trump card to beat the bear, but if if he can just land one good placement from his bow and arrow, he'll be totally fine. Like, he'll be able to take it down. So with that happening, he's right about to do it, and then there's a rustling in the bush, and a giant bear that's almost humanoid-like, very powerful, very muscular. I have it over there on the shelf. I can't get it. Comes out and just attacks him. And oh, dude, he's fucking up my whatever the hell thing is. Oh, 1 second. My aunt pre-ordered the game when I checked the Walmart website in the beginning. So it should be here by the 16th, and now it says 18th. Now we're gonna pre-order it because I want to play it on the 16th. Can they cancel it and do it through a different place? Sorry to hear that, Angel Rose. Hopefully they can get it sorted, because that kind of sucks. That kind of is frustrating. I hope it gets sorted. I'm going to buy mine on my Australia account so I can get it like a day early. But I hope it gets sorted. Because you do get, I think, pre-order bonuses, right? And you kind of want the pre-order bonuses. So going back to the explanation of the story. Sorry, you can keep calm. So Razzy's about to take down the bear, hopefully. This giant bear comes out of nowhere, hits their tree, and they get launched out of it. And this thing is, actually see it. I'm still thinking if I want to be like a person that transforms and he protects the forest. I really don't know. I have like a lot of ideas. The bear sadly kills the dog, and it's just like, oh, that sucks. It's over, So his dog that he's had his whole life since he was born, and you don't know much about him, but you can tell that's an emotional impact. And he passes away. That he just barely escapes the bear, and he goes and buries it in one of the villages near him, not on the kingdom's castle, because he doesn't want it to be like, that's almost like, it seems like it's almost too formal and almost too like people will think less of the family caring so much about a dog. So I'm stream buffering a lot for everyone, or just me? I have a warning down here. It says it says I have high CPU usage, but it shouldn't be buffering. I don't know. Maybe try going to the other Stream Mind Bro and see if that works better. Since it's 2 streams, there's so much about an animal, if that makes sense. Because, royalty should be caring about the people more so than an animal before that. That's kind of like how it's seen sometimes. So, yeah, buffers a lot? Huh. It might just be my internet. I apologize. So, I'll try to fix it soon. I have a lot of problems with a lot of things lately on this. I think it's my internet. But ooh, Yungoos fur. So he gets home, he buries it, and then you start to see his personality. To cheer up, he goes and causes mischief. And since he never had a dad, he never had like a dad figure, because he's out, in the demon realm. He tends to try to seek chaos and whatnot, so he can have some funny attention and keep him so he's not bored, and kind of annoy his older brother, who's very strict and lenient. And not lenient, on crime. He's very by the book. So with that being said, money to the rich as a thief that has disguise, and then go back later as the prince, and then reprimand the rich people they didn't steal, but he was giving them that, and then be like, hey, you stole this money from these poor villagers. So he doesn't do that because he wants to be a better person and feel better, like trying to save the poor. It's more so he thinks it's funny that he could do something that silly, and it leads him to just doing a bunch of crazy dumb shenanigans, to where it's like a reverse Robin Hood, but also not. It's a very silly situation, and he likes to just cause mayhem in the city. So one day he's getting chased out. And so he's getting chased by the guards, and he takes a beaten path in the forest that he's never taken before. And as he's running, he falls through the top of a cave and lands right in the center on his back. And normally that would paralyze someone. But he lands atop of something. And I don't know if he's going to land on top of a pile of bones or on top of an altar or something. And as he wakes up, he's really combobulated. And he sees in front of him this altar that has a book. He goes, grabs the book, and then in the background, you can like he's not looking at the background. In the background, he's seeing like he's not seeing it, but you can see there's tons of skeletons on the walls. There's tons of weird ornate, kind of like necromancer type things going on, you know. And so as he grabs the book, like a spirit launches inside him, and he starts throwing up blood, and he's like, "Oh my god, am I gonna die?" And then he passes out, and he wakes up not remembering what happened. Well, pretty much that was like like one of like the final resting places of like one of the most powerful necromancers, and one of the most evil ones of the world, and ability of necromancy, and he has very particular necromancy. Whoops. As long as he is the final blow in that type of enemy. So, if, for example, when he's in the, I'll get to in a second because it's moving the story too fast if I start talking about that. So he gets this ability of necromancy he doesn't know, and he can summon other things, but not like so. Like for example, after that, excuse me, I just threw it in my mouth. That was horrible. It's just oh geez, tastes like soda. Ugh. He ends up going to the resting place of his dog to visit his dog, and with that happening, he gets angry and slams his fist on the ground, which then activates his necromancy skill and launches it down. Because the way that necromancy is going to work in here, you can only bring things forth if it's around you. Summon it to the ground. So if you're in a place where no one died or nothing died before, you might not be able to use your necromancy to summon something. But there's ways around that. I'm gonna later on have it to where he gets a chest that can walk and opens up, and it will keep all his bones that he's collect that he can summon on demand. But the idea is that he can't just be OP and summon anything because not everything's gonna be something there, and he can only really summon if those things are there, particular outside of his chest type of thing, So even if he ends up having the ability to summon something, if it's not within his range, he won't be able to bring it forth. So with that being said, Small Thief jumps forth and brings his sword down, destroying the dog. Him not knowing that's his dog. Sad that happens. He got his dog killed twice. He ends up his brother grabs there's something going on in the kingdom back at the palace. So they start going back, and on the way back they start seeing all these towns are silent, like dead bodies and all this type of force is not home, and all the brothers and dad aren't there to protect it. This is almost 10 years later. They're supposed to be back by now, but for some reason they haven't. That's because they're in hell. They're not in the demon realm, and we don't know if they're all dead or something. We don't know what's going on. But the idea is that now they had 10 years to amass a giant army from all these different creatures, all these different monsters, all these different regions, to now come and destroy the holy kingdom of this, pretty much knock this kingdom out. And so that being said, there's a full invasion going on as you get home, and your mom, she's like, hey, come, the guards have held off for so long. And that's when you finally get there, it gets really bad, and everything's going down. All the troops are getting destroyed. Your brother's in some really intense battles, and since you're 9 years old, you can't really do too much. You know some basics, you're better than most 9-year-olds, obviously. You're possibly better than some guards even, but you're not on the level of a lizard man. But what ends up happening in this interaction, he's able to sneak behind a lizard man that got damaged. He takes one out through assassinations because he's a thief, which leads into assassination class. And he gets that ability to summon the lizard man, and which he does on accident. It takes up a lot of his mana and energy, so he can only summon one, even though there's a lot of dead bodies around. So once he realizes that he has control over it, he starts going what's going on? And since that was such a huge power draw, he's weakened from that because we'll say for example a lizard man is probably level 60, and he's level 20 would say, and trying to control something that's level 60 is something that only a level 50 could do easily type of thing. But since he's royalty and all that type of stuff, there's gonna be more to play in the long scheme of things. But so that being said, the kingdom's falling, and your mom sacrifices herself to save you and your brother, and she uses some final magic. She's like a cleric. She's like, like a high priest type lady at the user. So once she gets executed right in front of you, she casts that spell. You're saved from the possible incoming doom, but your mom put up a barrier around you with that spell, and it will last for too long to where if they had to leave, like, the demon realm people, they gotta leave. You can't just be on Earth for so long because the news is gonna spread. Then everyone will mobilize. Every kingdom around will mobilize. So the big boss, the big demon, like we can't kill you, but you're like a key component that's gonna be in like the grand scheme of this. Because he knows a lot more than you do. So he ends up using his ability to curse, and pretty much that protection your mom gives you, he inverts it. It makes it to where you can never die, essentially, but you'll live when the time comes, he'll be able to use you at any moment if he like inflicts enough like chance that you should have died. It's a lot more complex than what I'm saying because I don't want to spoil anything. But the idea is that the more deaths you have through time that you come back from, is want and of your use will be like potent. So the idea is that he doesn't know that. He just looks at you and goes, "Look at dude, like, boom, I cursed you. And you don't even know you're cursed. All you know is that you get your head chopped off, and within like 20 minutes, it'll eventually come back and you'll be like, alive again, but you won't know why." So I set it up to where like you have an immortal character, but there'll be drawbacks to it, and you'll kind of see him struggling through living through like events where maybe they verse like he didn't die. That demon left because he thought he got everyone, and now he's dealing with the trusting them, and then they're all dead, and now he has no one, and so it's going to be like a whole entire this also, I could have got this done probably 20 minutes ago, this game opening, but I didn't because I was yapping. So it's pretty much going to be like this large thing of him trying to get revenge on the demon realm, and then later on he learns that it was actually hell into play. The idea is I want to have him most of the time, and that will lead him into like after they get killed to come back to life again. It's not like a regress story. It's not like he dies and it resets the day. It's he dies and then he wakes up like an hour or two later, a week later or something, depending on the thing. And it ends up going a lot larger in scale to where it's not just death. It's if his arm gets cut off, it will grow back. But later on, you're going to realize the effects of what that cost in the grand scheme of things. It's something that's going to keep growing and compounding and also affecting the world as it goes. And since no one's here, because I don't know if this here is the curse is not him being useful to the guy in the sense of like he has control over him or something like that. It's more so it's slowly putting resentment and bitterness and like a loss of hope into him, because he's actually one of the chosen people that will be able to end the demon realm and the almost hell in some regard. It won't have power over the world anymore as much as it would, and kind of like transcend humanity into the next like enlightenment. And the way he's going to do that is by crushing his like soul. And the idea is that every time he gets hurt, people in his direct vicinity that are his friends that like him and he likes them, they will get hurt almost in the same way to be able to heal him. So for example, if he like breaks his arm, someone within like we'll say like 100 miles of him that he's friends with will break their arm and he'll heal his arm. And he doesn't know this because they're so far away. Like, how would he, like, and it's going to be in ways like, oh, they fell off a roof when they were roofing, and that's how they broke their arm. And he'll get into, like, okay, well, this person died, like, in, like, by, like, just, like, got hit by a buggy or something, like a horse and carriage ran over the person. If he dies, in a dungeon or something. And these deaths are going to compound on because, they're his friends. It's like, oh, this is tragedy in the world. It's not him directly doing that. It's just a tragedy. The reason why all these people died. He's going to show them a timeline of all their lives that they could have had if they never met him. It's going to isolate him and everyone that he's at. That's like his goal is that the rapture happened, like we'll say our time. The rapture, like the rapture was supposed to happen. I had this already planned before the whole rapture meme happened. But the rapture happens and a new world happens from it. All the people that didn't believe in God, Jesus, stuff like that, they get left behind, as it says. But one family, one group of people, like one church said, look, we're not going to leave these people to defend demons for themselves. We have to be there to hopefully shepherd them in to be better people and hopefully make a better world from it because you know the devil runs the world now. That's like the idea of the rapture, is that people get left behind and they have to pay for the consequences of it. But some people that were holier than thou said, you know what, we're gonna stay here, like let us stay here, God, so we can show them that you can be redeemed. So with that happening, our world sees Stephen it, and they lay the foundations to restore the world. And like God realizes, okay, well, there's still hope in people if you show that the sacrifices people make are selfless. So with all this happening, it's gonna go back to like this is actually our world, just like 20,000 years in the future type shit, and technology was like pretty much erased, and yeah, so there's no like advanced technology or nothing like we have nowadays, no AI and shit like that. It's just swords, and there's some magic. I mean, there's some like type of technology, but it's not like nothing complex like that. So that's like the whole idea at the beginning of the story, and like kind of like where it's going and what's going to be happening, and be able to see this person grow. And then the big plot twist is that he's actually been killing everyone he's ever liked and loved, and making it to where he just kind of like he becomes like a shell of what he used to be. But he thought he was doing so good, because every time he gets closer and closer doing something good, something horrible happens, and it sets him back. But he knows that, oh well, maybe if I just have faith, I'll be able to keep going. And then it leads to, wow, this whole entire time causality was making it to where I was just meant to lose no matter what. And now will he get out of that? I don't know. I'm still wondering like how the story will go. Also, I'm not paying I'm really just pushing the A button. I had more fun talking about something I want to make than playing this game. And I was just spamming the A button in. But yeah, no. I think also I'll have some characters obviously live that are his friends. I'm gonna find certain ways I can do that. Maybe they'll be on holy ground to where they can't be affected. Like Berserk has something similar, where like if you're on like a fairy ground, spirits can't get you. So maybe there'll be something like that to where a few characters will be void from living, because they're living on like the church. They're living in holy ground, and they can't be affected by a demon's curse, even though it's super potent, super powerful, regardless. Yeah, and I have like a lot of like creatures of the day type stories I want to do, where I have like an idea of making a succubus infiltrate a small town and go into the church there and take over. Like she's like, oh, I'm just a nun, and then she takes over the priest, because there's succubus, they use their temptations, and have it to where she and whatnot, but secretly they're taking over all the minds of the men there, because lust is a very strong thing in the world, and that's one of the biggest things that drove people to Ruination. So I want to have it to where all the townsmen are getting controlled essentially by the suck happening. They end up taking all the women of the town and forcing them into hard labor and other such things, or just like sacrifice, stuff like that, like whatever needs to be done for the greater good of that succubus, not being good in the sense, but you know what I mean. And so I have that idea planned, and when we do see women, they seem very like scared, or very like not too sure what's going on, and like kind of like almost in a trance, and you have to kind of like, he's going to explore that and try to find out the reason why this town is weird. And once you realize that, it all comes back to this weird church that is has lost communication with the other churches around there, and why is that, and is it making its own sect or whatnot. And then he stumbles upon the mannequin succubus, a queen, and I don't know how many succubus I'll have in that. I know it's maybe 3 or 4, and then one being the one that can marionette tons of puppets. The other ones are kind of like lower level or have their own special abilities, and might have like one get away, so she can be like a recurring character that causes problems with whatnot this person. And then what I will have, he's so cute, he's a little dude, he's just a little guy. And then what I'll have is shoot. Also, is my audio still fine? Everything? I don't know if I'm even streaming anymore, because my internet might just be cutting out. I don't even know about it. Oh, dang.